For weeks, the mystery surrounding Menglong's death had left both fans and investigators at a standstill. But everything changed when a technician from the Shanghai Cyber Forensics Unit made a shocking discovery. A full backup of Menglong's phone had been automatically saved to an encrypted cloud folder just hours before he fell from that ninth-floor hotel balcony. The files, messages, voice notes, call logs, and videos are now the center of an explosive new chapter in what's becoming one of the most haunting celebrity mysteries in recent history. The public had long been told that Yu's phone was too damaged to extract data from after the fall. But according to a recent leak, the phone wasn't destroyed, it had been confiscated. And for nearly a month, someone within the chain of custody had been trying to delete specific files. Unfortunately for them, digital traces never die. When the files were finally recovered, investigators were stunned. What they heard and saw inside those folders was enough to reignite every rumor, every theory, and every doubt about the so-called accident. The first file was a 43-second voice memo, recorded less than 2 hours before his death. In it, Yu's voice trembled as he whispered, "They're watching me. I don't know who to trust anymore." The room was silent except for his unsteady breathing and the faint hum of traffic outside. He sounded exhausted, not physically, but emotionally drained, as if every truth he had carried was finally too heavy to hold. Another file was a long message draft addressed to Chong. Fans quickly connected the name to Du Chong, the stylist and longtime friend who vanished days after Yu's passing. The message was never sent, but it read like a confession or a warning. Yu wrote, "If anything happens to me, promise me you'll tell them about the files in the second account. Don't trust Sunday. He already knows too much." That single line, "Don't trust Sun," has thrown the entire narrative into chaos. Sun Durong, Yu's former manager who recently vowed to seek justice, had presented himself as the guardian of Yu's legacy. But this note paints him in a more ambiguous light. Was Yu trying to protect himself from betrayal? Or was he confused in his final hours, haunted by paranoia planted by others? Even more chilling was a series of short video clips stored under the folder name Truth. In one, Yu appeared in front of a mirror, his face pale and eyes sunken. He said, "I've done everything they asked, but it's never enough. They want me gone because I know what they did." Behind him, for a brief moment, a shadow moved, someone else in the room. The figure disappeared before Yu turned around. When the clip surfaced online, it went viral within minutes. Hashtags like #Menglong phone files and #who was in the room exploded across Chinese and international platforms. Fans slowed the footage, frame by frame, to study the reflection. Some claimed the shadow matched the build of a man frequently seen near Yu during his last promotional tour. Others insisted it was Du Chong himself. But the most damning revelation came from Yu's phone log. In the hour before his fall, he received 3 calls, all from an unknown number. The last call lasted 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Right after it ended, Yu's hotel Wi-Fi disconnected. Minutes later, surveillance cameras captured his balcony curtains fluttering violently. Then silence. That final call has now become the heart of the investigation. Insiders allege that authorities are tracing its origin through virtual private networks, but some sources claim the number belonged to a private security firm tied to several entertainment executives. If that's true, it could expose a hidden war between industry powerhouses, and Yu may have been caught in the crossfire. Among the files was also a folder titled Mother. Inside were voice recordings meant for Yu's mother. In one, his tone was soft, breaking. "Mama, if you're hearing this, I'm sorry. I didn't want you to find out like this. But they made me choose, and I chose to fight." That one line shattered hearts worldwide. It painted Yu not as a man on the edge of despair, but as someone preparing for a battle he knew he might not survive. As more evidence leaked, new questions rose like wildfire. Who were they? What fight was Yu referring to? Why had his phone been hidden for so long? Online detectives began piecing timelines together. They noticed that days before his fall, Yu had canceled several interviews and been seen arguing with an unidentified man in the hotel lobby. Witnesses described the man as wearing a gray hoodie, his face half covered. CCTV from that night has mysteriously vanished, yet Yu's phone recorded a short audio clip that may have captured that same voice. "Stop digging, Yu. You don't want to end up like him," the voice hissed. "You think you're the hero in this story? You're not." That single threat turned the narrative from tragedy to conspiracy. Fans who had once mourned now demanded justice. Menglong's name began trending again, not as a fallen star, but as a symbol, a voice that refused to be silenced. Several insiders have now stepped forward, claiming Yu had been preparing to expose a network of corruption within the entertainment industry, forged contracts, manipulated deaths, hidden investors. He had allegedly gathered proof and stored them on an encrypted drive tied to his phone. When that drive went missing, Yu's behavior changed drastically. He told close friends he felt hunted. When questioned, Yu's management company denied all allegations, calling the phone evidence deeply edited fabrications. But forensic experts have confirmed the data's authenticity, noting the timestamps and metadata align perfectly with Yu's last known movements. Meanwhile, fans have taken to the streets of Beijing, holding vigils with candles and signs reading, "Justice for Menglong." Some believe his phone may still contain unreleased files, fragments of a greater truth that someone is desperate to erase. As one investigator described, "Every file leads us closer to the reason he died. But it also leads us closer to danger. The more we uncover, the more people try to bury it again." It's no longer just about how Yu Menglong fell, it's about what he discovered before he did. His phone, once dismissed as damaged beyond repair, has become his final voice, a digital ghost that refuses to rest until the truth is known. And as each file surfaces, one message echoes through every headline, every screen, every broken heart. Yu Menglong did not fall in silence. He left evidence. And that evidence might be the key to everything. The world thought the first wave of leaks from Yu Menglong's phone was everything, but it wasn't. Deep within the encrypted archives, investigators have now uncovered a hidden folder labeled Red Room. And what was inside has shaken even those closest to him. The discovery came after forensic experts decrypted the final layer of Yu's phone storage. The folder was locked behind a triple encryption key, one Yu had hidden using a photo of his late dog, Xiaohei, as part of the password algorithm. It was a quiet, personal clue only those who truly knew him would recognize. When the file finally opened, a set of 6 videos, 2 notes, and a document titled Meeting 9F emerged. The first video, timestamped just hours before Yu's death, showed him pacing his hotel room. The lighting was dim, his reflection flickered in the balcony glass, and his voice trembled with urgency. "They said it was just a contract issue," he said softly. "But this isn't business anymore. It's something darker. If you find this, it means they've already come." Those words spread like wildfire. Within hours, #RedRoomVideo was trending across every platform. Fans began dissecting the footage, pointing out faint voices in the background. One, in particular, sounding like a man whispering in Mandarin, "Turn off the camera." The clip cuts abruptly after that, leaving the final second blank and distorted. But what followed was even more chilling, the document titled Meeting 9F. It read like notes, fragmented sentences, quick scribbles, but pieced together, they formed a haunting map of what you might have uncovered. Phrases like contract falsification, insurance clause, replacement actor, and "do new before me" appeared repeatedly. At the bottom of the file, one sentence stood out in bold red font. "Everything started in room 904. It will end there too." That line reignited speculation about the infamous 9th floor, the same floor where you met his fate. Fans and amateur investigators online began scouring old building plans, comparing them to leaked images of the hotel. They noticed something odd. The floor's surveillance layout was incomplete, with one blind spot, right outside Yu's room. Even stranger, that exact corridor was under renovation just weeks before his stay, meaning the cameras were temporarily removed and never reinstalled. Was it coincidence or a setup? Meanwhile, Yu's stylist and confidant, Du Chong, who was believed to have fled China after Yu's death, resurfaced online. In a now-deleted voice message sent to a mutual friend, Du claimed, "I warned him. I told him to stay quiet about the file. But he said, if I don't speak, they'll silence someone else." He wasn't paranoid, he was prepared. That message fueled new theories, that Menglong had uncovered something that endangered not just himself, but others. His death, once seen as tragic, now looks like a consequence of knowing too much. Further into the phone's contents, investigators found a voice recording titled Final Draft. It seemed to be used rehearsal for an interview that never happened. His tone was steady, rehearsed but weary. People think fame is light, but it burns. You smile on stage, but backstage, the deals, the threats, the silence, it eats you alive. If I disappear, promise you'll ask why. Don't let them say it was an accident. That line, "Don't let them say it was an accident," has since become the rallying cry among his fans. Posters, murals, and digital memorials now bear that phrase in bold, white letters against Yu's smiling portrait. But the real breakthrough came from one last piece of evidence, a short text message found in the deleted cache of his messaging app. It was sent to an unsaved number and read simply, "The upload will finish in 3 minutes. If I don't call, check Drive B." Drive B, a separate, external location. The tech team is now tracing what that might mean, possibly a physical flash drive, or an online vault you had prepared in case of his death. If it exists, that drive could hold the final, unedited version of his findings. Meanwhile, Yu's mother, who recently broke her silence, has confirmed that a stranger has been delivering unmarked envelopes to her home every week since his passing. Inside each one, screenshots of conversations, financial ledgers, and photographs of people she doesn't recognize. But last week, for the first time, one envelope contained something different, a phone chip, wrapped in paper that read, "He hid more than you think." The mother reportedly handed it to the authorities, but before she did, a private investigator managed to clone the data. Early scans show fragments of the same Meeting 9F file, but with added paragraphs, proof that you had edited the document multiple times before saving it. One new line at the very end read, "I'm not afraid anymore. They can take me, but the truth will reach them first." It's this defiance, that unwavering resolve, that has turned Menglong from a victim into a symbol of resistance. Every discovery makes the official accident story crumble further. Each recovered message feels like a whisper from beyond, guiding those who loved him closer to the truth he died protecting. Online communities have now formed digital archives to preserve his files, fearing deletion or censorship. Hacktivists have begun mirroring data across multiple international servers, ensuring Yu's digital testimony cannot be silenced. And perhaps the most haunting twist came last night, when an anonymous user uploaded a new 15-second clip titled "Red Room, Final." The video shows Yu standing near the balcony door, holding his phone. He looks straight into the camera, eyes burning with something between fear and courage. He says just one sentence. "If you're seeing this, it means they failed." Then the video fades to black. No timestamp, no metadata, just silence. But that silence, like the truth he left behind, now echoes louder than ever. Because maybe, just maybe, Menglong's story didn't end the night he fell. Maybe it's only now truly beginning.